Mike, I realized that it was your battle that evening that 2Pac had chance at and lost. Furthermore, Puff let him know he would give him $1 million.
You folks never got any cash? Never for anything? Nothing. I was coming clean. You know, I felt that he didn't have anything to lie about.
It seems like previous heavyweight champion Mike Tyson is intently seeing how the examination about the deadly shooting of his companion 2Pac unfurls. Furthermore, the previous fighter was stunned to figure out a few unbearable subtleties connected with his other dear companion, Sean Diddy Brushes, after it was uncovered that Diddy supposedly recruited a group to execute the rap legend in Las Vegas. Mike Tyson approached with blaming the music big shot for misleading him such an extremely long time.
Well, who has stretched the limits excessively damn far? Right. You know, and we got to watch out for them. So you definitely realized that the examination about 2Pac's strange case is going at maximum speed after the laugh struck the place of a previous gangster and found various uncovering things that could at long last offer us the response to the primary question of the most recent 30 years: who was at fault in this wrongdoing? As numerous other celebs, Mike Tyson was past glad to see the examination being reignited, yet what he would never expect is his own companion to be engaged with this wrongdoing. Mike has been companions with Diddy for quite a while, and the stunning subtleties of the music big shot supposedly putting an abundance on 2Pac's head was far past the Xbox's comprehension. Since we have been known one another for a really long time. I knew him before he was Diddy and him for quite a while when I previously became champ. Furthermore, Mike is presently straightforwardly standing up to Diddy for being a horrendous lawbreaker and concealing the way that he was a piece of this terrible episode that took the rap legend's life. Yet, despite the fact that Mike is calling himself a companion of Diddy, he's profoundly harmed to learn about $1 million abundance on 2Pac's head. Since, as you presumably know it, folks, Iron Mike feels to some degree liable for the deadly shooting that happened that evening in Vegas. As Mike said in his different meetings, he by and by welcomed 2Pac to Vegas that evening in 1996 to see his battle with Bruce Seldon. Furthermore, however, the late rapper was at first hesitant to do the previous heavyweight champion strain him to be there. That should join those folks needed to spend time with them. Truly, however, you plan to hang out with them that evening? No doubt.
Indeed, it's no big surprise that Mike is currently furious at Diddy for coordinating this wrongdoing and furthermore deceiving him. For very nearly 30 years, Iron Mike has been living with an immense stone on his heart, accepting that his was somewhat to fault to his companion's lamentable destruction. As the previous fighter uncovered in his meeting, I feel a little regretful about him coming to the battle and me constraining him.
I should go out with him that evening. I vowed to go to the 662 with him that evening, yet I just had a little child and her mom was inciting me to remain at home, so I remained at home.
Presently, Mike is past irate at Diddy since he had been concealing reality from him for quite a long time and caused him to have confidence in his honesty. Also, we as a whole recollect how the music head honcho responded to the report about his contribution in 2Pac's shooting.
You know, we don't discuss things that are hogwash. We don't engage gibberish, my sibling.
So regardless of the various narratives and examinations, in addition to such countless individuals pointing at Diddy, the notorious maker, appeared to have limited any association with all discussion about his job in that wrongdoing. Be that as it may, with more proof coming to play and opening his mouth and sharing, how could he guarantee him a weighty aggregate for 2Pac's head? Mike gets more familiar with his supposed companion seeing Diddy Brushes and how he had been misleading everybody such an extremely long time. Presently, Mike's deceptions about Diddy's agreeableness are broken into pieces, and the previous fighter attempts to squeeze new data about his companion's crimes into this image. You have incredible things, post Mike after gatherings and stuff.
Additionally, when they were tossing parties.
As Tyson said, he had never anticipated that Diddy should lie about this one thing since Mike has more than once communicated his sadness, considering how he might have prevented his lamentable occasion from coming. As Iron Mike talked about his thoughts, he said, "Somebody called me that evening and let me know what occurred and I wake up.
This occurs in my reality. That was essential for my reality. That was important for my reality.
Yet, on the grounds that it was 2Pac and I was joined to it, it was unique. As numerous others, Mike knew nothing about Diddy's inclusion with a posse, or presumably he needed to accept that his companion Stephen Brushes was a genuine man.
Is there anything you have conclusions on, Diddy? Have you had any encounters with Diddy?
No, fair, I know him for quite a while now.
Mike feels like he had been deceived.
Furthermore, clearly he believes the renowned maker should pay for this wrongdoing, particularly taking into account the way that the genuine professional killer, the person named Orlando Anderson, fell the casualty to one more shooting 2 years after the Vegas drive-by.
In any case, the police have now affirmed that Orlando had no rationale to take out 2Pac and was essentially executing the request made by Diddy.
Fortunately for Mike, he can now reside in harmony and quit having a liable outlook on 2Pac's death, since all recently found proof that it found in chief federal authorities' house is demonstrating the way that Diddy was a piece of this wrongdoing. Furthermore, as the police implies, it's inevitable before the music big shot is captured.
Indeed, we fabricated this government body of evidence against him with no serious outcomes if he somehow managed to go to preliminary and be sentenced. Many fans are glad to see the examination continuing on. Also, this time, considerably more observers are approaching to blame Diddy for paying for 2Pac's head. As one individual remarked, indeed, it's no time like the present he goes down. He's been unnoticed for a long while. That person is a
criminal and he's perilous and he should be locked under the prison.
Also, another client added, indeed, assuming Puffy leaves the country, we know there's association.
The police have long attempted to connect Diddy to this case, however, before he began to work with the examination and offer already obscure subtleties, the entire interaction was placed on hold. Notwithstanding, as one resigned cop said, he's been gathering proof on this wrongdoing starting around 2016, and it required his 3 years to figure out that Brushes recruited Crips gangster Dwayne Davis, also called Jeffy D, to take out 2Pac and his chief for $1 million. Furthermore, they are currently developing a body of evidence against him to at last bring Puffy for addressing needed. To proceed to examine him and essentially foster the very sort of situation against him that we plan to do with get him into a circumstance where he'd be constrained to talk. In any case, as the police presently thinks, Diddy was again paid off everybody and quieted the vital observers with his cash or undermined them. What's more, they accept that the public openness is the best weapon against the famous head honcho and his stunts, and Mike's newest showdown with Diddy couldn't be a superior method for causing the scandalous hip bounce maker to feel remorseful and admit the safeguards that accompany being the canine, the monster, the creature, the universe tests. Presently, the police says that the principal source on this case is caught and he must choose the option to impart more subtleties of his consent to Diddy and how the music tycoon offered him $1 million to dispose of 2Pac.
I'm anxious to understand what you're thinking. Also, meanwhile, check my different recordings about the examination cycle. Indeed, that is in support of today. Much thanks to you for watching. Also, remain tuned.